Nintendo has plenty of bangers in their gaming catalog. From the NES to the Wii U, there's a ton of games to choose from that we would want to see a remake or added to the newest console. Of course, we won't have all of them on one console, but with the Nintendo Switch 2 projected to come out during June or July, I think it would be a perfect time to talk about the Nintendo games we need in 2025. This list will consist of retro games, sequels, and remakes that I think deserve to be brought back on the next console. I'm not sure if I'll touch up on every game in this video. I might end up just making a part 2 in the near future. But before I get into the list of games, make sure to subscribe to the channel for gaming content and news. I make plenty of ranking videos, tier lists, and other types of gaming content. But with all that being said, let's get right into the list. Now, this spot could either be a bundle or singular games, but I think a bundle would be better for these two games, and those games would be Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD. We saw these games get HD remakes on the Wii U, and both of them are outstanding in their own ways. But we've been asking Nintendo to port over these games for the longest time now. With how popular the 3D Zelda games are, these games would sell incredibly well, not only because of them being 3D Zeldas, but also considered some of the best games of all time. I personally haven't even gotten the chance to play Wind Waker yet, so I really want the chance to play in HD eventually. And I'm sure there's some of y'all in the same situation. Either you haven't played one of them yet, or you haven't played either of them. These games are in super high demand by Nintendo fans right now as well, and should be in the first place spot to be ported to the Switch 2. Next, we have another obvious port, being Mario Galaxy 2. Me and many other fans never understood why Nintendo didn't port this game over to 3D All-Stars or just on the Switch in general. Mario Galaxy 2 is considered one of the best 3D Mario games by me and many other fans. Now, there's many conspiracies about Mario Galaxy 2 coming to the Switch. There was speculation of DLC coming to 3D All-Stars that would have included Galaxy 2, 3D Land, and Mario 64 DS. But of course that never happened, and then rumors of it getting ported over by itself came to be. But yet again, that never even happened, so us 3D Mario fans have just been left empty-handed for a good while now. But there is a big chance we do get this game pretty soon because the new console will be coming out pretty quick. We may have the opportunity to buy retro games like we did in the past, so there's still hope we're able to get Mario Galaxy 2 pretty soon. But Mario Galaxy 2 is in the same boat as the 3D Zelda games, since 3 of them are in pretty high demand and are classics. We have another bundle that should have already happened in my opinion, and especially since Metroid Prime 4 comes out next year. And the bundle I'm talking about is Metroid Prime 2 and 3 bundle, kinda like how they did with the Pikmin games. I have no clue why we haven't gone this yet, because Metroid gained a lot of popularity because of the Nintendo Switch, and I became a bigger Metroid fan because of the Switch as well, since Metroid Prime HD was the first Metroid game I had ever played. But we desperately need these games to launch, since we have Metroid Prime 4 coming out pretty soon, and I'm not the type of person to play the first game then skip all the way to the 4th game. I feel like Nintendo could easily just pop out these Metroid games too fairly fast, especially since they did that with the Pikmin games, and it just feels odd they didn't do the same with Metroid. And I could be wrong, but I swear I do remember hearing links about them adding Metroid Prime 2 and 3 to the Switch after Prime 1 came out, so I have no clue what Nintendo's game plan is currently, but all I have to do is keep begging for this bundle because I really do need it. This list can't be completed without me mentioning Mario Odyssey 2. Mario Odyssey is arguably the best 3D Mario game, and it came out in 2017, which is about to be 8 years ago. This is the biggest gap we've ever gone without a brand new 3D Mario game, so I believe we are gonna get a brand new 3D Mario game during late 2025, since they always come out near the launch of the new console, while also selling incredibly well and being one of the best games ever made most of the time. Also, hearing about how the Switch 2 is expected to be a pretty powerful console, it makes me very excited for the next 3D Mario game. Since the games will have so much more content, we could see Nintendo making a lot more 3D games too with how powerful the system will be. Mario Odyssey already had a ton of content, so I can't imagine how much they would add to a sequel. And the idea of Mario Odyssey is just too good to just make one game about. I know there's probably many of y'all that want to see something new and fresh. I also would love to see something crazy though, like Mario going to the past or future, or traveling the Nintendo multiverse. And what I mean by that is like Mario traveling to games like Zelda, Metroid, Pokemon, Kirby, and so on. I think it would be so cool to see Mario battling Ridley or Ganon, and even competing in a Pokemon battle against Giovanni or something along those lines. Mario Kart 9 needs to happen in 2025. I'm pretty much fed up with Mario Kart 8, and I know we got the expansion DLC and all of that, which did freshen up the game quite a bit, but at the end of the day, it's still Mario Kart 8. I'm ready to see a new gimmick added and just a new game in general. And I'm sure many of y'all want to see the same thing because I'm pretty much burnt out on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. One problem I could see though is Nintendo running out of ideas for Mario Kart's future though, which I know is crazy for me to say since Nintendo are just known for being creative geniuses, but it's just hard to come up with crazy new ideas for a racing game without trying to go too off track, and I did not mean to make that that into a pun. Another game that's kinda in the same boat is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, since it is basically peak Super Smash Bros. Because it has everything a fan could possibly ask for. How are they even supposed to top that? I do know how unbalanced some of the characters are, like Steve, but other than that, the game is peak. But getting back to the Mario Kart 9, it's just very worrying. I'm just hoping and praying we don't get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or something along those lines. There's a series of Pokemon games called Black and White that need to be remade already. Guys, when I tell you I love Gen 5, that's an understatement. These games made my childhood, and with me growing up in the 2000s, Gen 4 and 5 were my childhood Pokemon games. And honestly, these are the best games in the series in my opinion, so I don't want to hear any of y'all arguing otherwise. But Gen 5 has been the talk of the town for Pokemon fans for a while now. We've been begging for remakes for quite some time now, and instead we got Legend Z8, which I'm very excited for, but I feel like I would enjoy Gen 5 remakes a lot more, which I have high expectations for Legend Z8 since I think Gen 6 is a very underrated Pokemon generation, and Mega Pokemon are coming back as well, so we can't complain about that. The thing about Gen 5 remakes that seem to worry fans is Game Freak just ruining the games. People don't want Gen 5's aura to be diminished because of some bad remakes. I don't want the same thing to happen to Gen 5 like how they did with Gen 4 remakes, but I have hope they won't mess up the Gen 5 remakes, and I would love to see them made next year during November or somewhere along those lines. Now this spot could technically count as 2 spots, but I want to dumb it down to just 1 spot, and I just want to see a brand new Mario sports game. Now I'm not sure if you know how bad the Mario sports games were on the Nintendo Switch. They were arguably some of the worst ones in the whole entire series. I want to see Nintendo save the Mario Sports series next year, and I feel like the best direction for them to take is a game like Mario Sports Mix or Mario Super Sluggers. These were 2 of my personal favorite Mario sports games. The good thing about Mario Sports Mix is it added 4 sports, those being basketball, volleyball, dodgeball, and hockey, which were perfect sports for them to put together and some of the most popular sports across the country. And the Mario baseball games are absolutely amazing. It's so shocking that Nintendo hasn't visited the series again. Baseball is one of the most popular sports in the world, and I'm not even the biggest baseball fan, but I love this game. With the Switch having motion controls too, it makes it even harder to believe that we didn't get another Mario baseball game. The last game I'm gonna discuss is Kid Icarus. We need either a sequel or a remake of the 3D Icarus series. This is a series that is severely underrated in Nintendo's catalog, and I believe it could be a very popular franchise if they try to make games for it again. Pit is a very cool character and shouldn't be left empty-handed like they've done so far. I would love to see what Nintendo can do with this series, and hopefully they come back to it pretty soon. Well, those are the key games I want to see Nintendo make next year. Tell me in the comments what games y'all want to see next year, and do you think any of these games I mentioned in the video will happen next year? I'm pretty confident we'll see some of these games, it's just a matter of waiting. I'm most excited to see a brand new 3D Zelda game or 3D Mario, because those are some of my favorite Nintendo games, but I do want to see Prime Bundle as well, just because I want to catch up on the series. But with college finals being over, I can start uploading more again, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel. But with all that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and peace out.